Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome all back to Dominant Mets Nation. Oh, it is 3:33 in the morning right now. Oh my God, I am still right now processing what happened a few short hours ago. We were on a live stream, and you know what? We were on a live stream. I'll tell you this. We were on a live stream and we were talking about where Juan Soto could end up, rumors, and there was like indications, signs coming out, tweets coming out that Juan Soto, a deal would be imminent, a deal would happen. So, folks, as you know by now, Juan Soto is a New York Met. Go check out. It was a live reaction. My last video. It's titled "Mega Deal." Check out my live reaction. First half hour. I think it's at the 25-minute mark, 26-minute mark is when actually we find out that Juan Soto has signed this massive mega deal. And you know what? I can't sleep right now. When you're probably going to be watching this, it will be in the daytime. So you're a Mets fan, like the video. If you're happy about it, I know you probably are. I know you're probably like me. You're excited. You're thinking about the lineup. I mean, I've wrote down about like 10 lineups, reiterations. We got a lot of work to do, folks. We have a lot of work to do. This is serious now because it is pedal to the metal. World Series 2025 is with the Mets and Steve Cohen intend to pursue. Mark my word. So today's video, we're just going to talk about how were the Mets able to pull off this miraculous coup? How the Mets were able to get the legendary Juan Soto, who supposedly, no way he chooses the Mets over the Yankees. No way. No. Oh, but he did. He did. He certainly did. And of course, let's talk about what is next. A lot of people have messaged me about Alonso. Is he going to be a Met? And, what are other moves we should be aggressively pursuing? We're going to talk a bit about that later on. All right, let's some more notes. We started up an X account a few short weeks ago. Follow at Dominant Mets. Just another good way for us to communicate. I just started up the account, but I got a lot of great information from there. A lot of great information. A lot of people help share. Explosive. I appreciate the great information you shared. You helped out tremendously. Thank you so much. And if you are new, subscribe. If you love MLB content, baseball content, Mets content, this is your channel. We love baseball here. All right, folks. Again, thank you all for the last couple of weeks. We've had a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Now, Juan Soto, as we can see, is a New York Met. Things are going to change. Times are going to change. New York Mets, New York Yankees. As much as the New York Yankees don't want to admit it, the tide is turning. Like the instant reaction that I've heard from Yankee fans is they're perplexed. They don't know why would the Juan Soto go to the New York Mets. The Mets have nothing. They're garbage. That's very uninformed. It's extremely uninformed. Obviously, we have a billionaire owner who is extremely passionate and dedicated to making this team, the New York Mets, a winner now and in the future. If you haven't noticed that, Juan Soto and Scott Boras certainly did. Let's remember this. Juan Soto chose to go to the New York Mets. The New York Mets last year showed Juan Soto that we are a team to reckon with right now. Right now, Mark Viento's emerging players on our team showed that we have a good core right here. And everybody who doubted our offense last year, I just went to check, just double check, because from my recollection, we had a top offense. Last year, runs per game, we were 7th in MLB. Not bad. You add Juan Soto to that, that's going to help out a lot. RBIs per game, the Mets were 6th in MLB. Home runs per game, we were 6th. On base, amount of times we got on base, we were 8th. Hits per game, 10th. Walks per game, 7th. So we were in the top echelon in mostly all offensive categories. Now you throw in a Juan Soto, and we have to make a couple more moves, but that's going to help our offense in a tremendous way. Okay, so let's get to it right now. So less than 2 months after Juan Soto helped the Yankees get to the World Series, Steve Cohen, the man, the myth, the legend, blew him away. this Sunday night with the largest contract in professional sports history. Soto did end up going to the highest bidder. The Mets reportedly put the contract on the table, $765 million over 15 years. But the Yankees' offer, to be fair, wasn't far behind, bringing into question whether Soto wanted to play in Queens all along. And that's what I've said, folks. The bond with Steve Cohen, there was always a allure. He was always enamored with Queens. Obviously, his stats at Citi Field were monstrous. But the Yankees offered $760 million over 16 years. That would have gave Soto an average annual salary of 47 and a half, opposed to the Mets $51 million. So it was a $3.5 million difference per year. Soto's Mets deal also included a $75 million signing bonus. If that difference in dollar amount is all that mattered to Soto, then it makes sense that he agreed to the highest offer on the table. But the Yankees' offer was pretty close. They were pretty close. And it sure seemed like Soto wanted to make a statement that both fan bases in New York won't take lightly. It was always said that if an offer was close, Soto would hands down choose the New York Yankees. New York Yankees put out their offer. 16 years, $760 million. Mets, 15 years, $765, right? So just on the surface, it looks like it's a $5 million difference. So, at the end of the day, it wasn't that far, right? If I break it down further, I'll show you how, better the Mets deal was. But on the surface, it shouldn't really matter because if the Yankees were close in the same ballpark, he was supposed to automatically go to the Bronx. But I'll tell you what, folks. Now listen to this. It was always said, and it was said by many Mets fans who were worried, we're going to be used. We're going to be used to jack up the price. No, folks. You want to know what team was used? The Yankees. The Yankees were used to jack up the price for the New York Mets. Now, do I like that? No, because we have to pay more money. But at the end of the day, it seemed like he wanted to go to the New York Mets. All right, Mets offer $700. See what the Yankees want. See if they'll go up. No, he wanted Steve Cohen and the Mets the whole time. Hal Steinbrenner had his opportunity to make a relationship with Soto last year. Soto never forgot that Steinbrenner virtually ignored Soto the whole season. Meanwhile, Steve Cohen started the partnership throughout the offseason, throughout this 3-4 week, kind of courtship. And Soto last week gave Steve Cohen a ball from the 2019 World Series run when Soto won the World Series and said, here, Steve, here's a gift, starting that relationship, starting that partnership. Okay, so the Mets, not the Yankees, represented the more appealing long-term destination to Soto, in part because they were willing to spend. No doubt about it. Right now, the Mets, they shed $180 million last year. This offseason, they already spent $80 million, $50 on Juan Soto, some money on Montage, some money on Clay Holmes. They still have $100 million to spend if they want to spend what they did last year. They could spend more than $100 million. They could spend a little less. But if the Yankees spent that $47.5 million, they would have been right up against the $300 million mark, which is against the tax penalty markers. So, the Mets were in a so much better, more, efficient situation. Cohen, the difference between him and him and Hal. Cohen prioritizes getting to know people in his organization, from the players to the front office to the security staffers. He does this to form a relationship by routinely appearing on the field, walking through the Mets clubhouse, and simply by being available and around. Cohen's wife, Alex, spends time in the Mets dugout, catching up with players during batting practice. It's really rare for professional sports owner to be as visible as the Cohens are with the New York Mets. Just take a look at the situation across town. And it was said by Juan Soto, like I mentioned, he didn't have a relationship with Hal. He did not. Yankees owner Hal Steinbrenner is notorious for not mingling in the clubhouse and is rarely spotted in Yankee Stadium. And, he barely talks to his players. He talks to Garrett Cole, he talks to Aaron Judge, but it's a very limited interaction. Very, very limited. In fact, right here, a quote from one former player. He was a former Yankees player who spent 8 seasons in pinstripe, and he said he spoke to Steinbrenner in those 8 years once or twice during his time in the Bronx. Steinbrenner, like I mentioned, has a close relationship with Aaron Judge, particularly after he signed him in 2022. But that is what really, you may think that, hey, it's not nothing, but it's something to Juan Soto. Steinbrenner apparently doesn't share that same dynamic with many in the building like Cohen does. Soto specifically asked Steinbrenner when the two sides met in California why he didn't approach him during the past season in the Bronx, and he wondered why the owner didn't try to form a closer relationship with Soto. Steinbrenner, fairly or not, said he wanted to give Soto space because he was so clearly locked in, enjoying his best season of the career. I call that BS. Soto is notoriously known to have a relationship and want a relationship with ownership. So that's just BS by Steinbrenner, and it's clearly lazy. It's clearly lazy. You should have formed the relationship. You had the advantage. You had him in your building. In fact, that probably put a distance, a wedge between you and Juan Soto. Juan Soto didn't seem happy. There were rumors that his cousin said that he wasn't happy. When he came to the Bronx, there were rumors that he wasn't happy. I think that this was a long time coming. I think the Mets were always the destination. In the end, Soto, the Soto situation might have been a huge mistake on Steinbrenner's part. And maybe this is why Steinbrenner went to such a level, $760 million, a level that we have not seen the Yankees be that aggressive when they had opportunities to sign Harper for a very low price of $25 million a year just a few short years ago. They needed Bryce Harper's bat. They would have loved Bryce Harper in the middle of the lineup. But they passed. Manny Machado. They don't have a third baseman. Would have loved Manny Machado. But they passed. They passed. This was not their philosophy. Maybe Hal felt a little guilty. Maybe he felt that it should have been on his shoulders. And it appears like he made some mistakes. All right. So Cohen played a huge role and deserves all the credit in the world for getting this done, putting his money where his mouth is. Now let's break this contract down even further. It looks like there is going to be an option, a pretty interesting option after year 5. So after year 5, Soto is going to be making $51 million a year up until year 5. After year 5, there's an option. This option says that Soto can either opt out, number one, so he can opt out, search for a new contract, or he can choose to receive an extra $4 million a year in his salary for the next 10 years. So that means he would be getting paid $55 million a year, and that would, over 10 years, that would equate to a contract of $550 million, and total contract value would bring that total contract value to $800 million. $800 million. So I'm just saying, worst case scenario for the Mets. Worst case scenario, Soto kills it these 5 years. Kills it. Opts out because he killed it and he felt like he can make more money. So he opts out. The Mets, they're off the hook for the rest of the $550 million. And then we go from there. But that would mean Soto killed it. And that would also mean that maybe we had a great chance to win a couple of World Series. So, that's not that big of a deal as well, even though we probably want to retain him. But he'd be 31. So who the hell knows? Okay, so Total contract value is $800 million. And people, are wondering, when Soto turned down that contract extension from the Nationals a few short years ago, he turned down a contract extension of $440 million, and he chose to bet on himself. Has he made the right decision? Well, there's no doubt about it, because that $440 million plus what he made his first three seasons would have equaled about $480 million, 480. So that's what he would have made in total career earnings if he chose to take that $440 million extension. A lot of money, right? A lot of money. But now he made $80 million in his first 6 years, and now potentially making $800 million. So his potential career earnings, by bypassing that $440 million, will go to $880 million potentially. $880 million opposed to 480. So that's a $400 million, net gain because of his gamble, because of how he believed in himself. So, great stuff. If you're a Mets fan, you gotta be, you gotta be on cloud nine right now. You have to be on cloud nine. Like, it is 4 o'clock in the freaking morning right now. 4 o'clock in the freaking morning. If you didn't get a chance to hit the like button, subscribe. You gotta subscribe. All right. So let's talk about what's next. And, there could be a couple things, but I think, and one of the reasons why I wanted Juan Soto again is plan A. That's plan A for the Mets. Plan A. There's always a plan A, plan B, plan C. Last year, we missed out on Yamamoto. So if that was plan A, we went to plan B. But who knows what plan we got. But we have options to be aggressive. The New York Mets are going all in. Obviously, they're spending a lot of money on Soto. You have Lindor in his prime, Nimmo in his prime. You got Vientos, who's an up-and-coming star. It looks like the kid, he played really great in the playoffs. So I think the Mets should go pedal to the metal, right? So they need more pitching. No doubt about it. We don't have any aces. We don't have enough talent. So obviously, you have to pursue top tier talent right now. Roki Sasaki is a guy, he's a phenom right now. He's a phenom. He's a guy, he was posted and he's rumored to be the Dodgers, going to the Dodgers, right? The Dodgers are always the favorite. But I think the Mets are in prime position to shock the world on this one, folks. Shock the world. The Dodgers already won a World Series. They already have a bunch of players, Ohtani, Yamamoto, a bunch of international players. I think there's a good possibility Sasaki follows Soto, follows the new hot team right now, and goes to New York. Cohen got one player. I think, he's on a roll. When you're on a roll, you're on a roll. I heard the Yankees, they might be in a running, but the Yankees right now, Yamamoto turned them down. Soto turned them down. Not a lot of players. The Yankees don't appear to be the it team. They don't have, the it management, Cashman, Aaron Boone. I mean, they have to make changes over there, folks. They have to make changes. Meanwhile, we have the genius David Stearns. We got a great young up and coming manager, Carlos Mendoza, and then we got the man, the myth, the legend, owning the team, who will spend anything to make this team into a winner. So, that being said, Sasaki is a young phenom. He's 23 years old. Potentially scouts are saying he's one of the best pitchers in the world, and at that age. He's not I believe you got to be 25, coming from, the international leagues. When you're posted, you have to be 25 to sign like those free agent type to be a free agent. So he's not going to be paid a lot of money. He's not. So any team can afford him, but I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I think he's going to go to a big market. I think he's going to go to a place where he can win. And the New York Mets, they're going to show Sasaki, and they're going to show other free agents that they are in it to win it. So Sasaki is a guy I'd heavily pursue. Another guy I heavily consider is Crochet. I really would be aggressive about this, because other teams, who missed out, especially the New York Yankees, they're going to be aggressive. So you know what? You put a package together. Guy like Jet Williams, maybe Jeremy Rodriguez, Jesus Baez, maybe another prospect outside the top 15. You send 4 or 5 good player prospects out there. And remember, player prospects, how many times did they not pan out? So I know we got a bunch of prospect huggers, but please consider how many prospects failed. Jared Kelenic in the last couple of years, P. Crow Armstrong, he hasn't really come on. So, I mean, you really got to consider the value, what you're getting back. You're getting a legit MLB arm, and you're getting him at a really valued price. So if these two moves work out, you get Sasaki, you get Gary Crochet, and these two guys aren't making money. So those are two cost-saving moves. Then if you don't want to go there are a lot of other options. I hear, from, the reports out there. The reports aren't always true. I would invest in a guy like Burns, but it doesn't seem like the Mets, there's too much risk in investing in a 30, 31-year-old pitcher. That's not where they want to invest their money. Okay, so if that's not what they want to do, they can go shorter-term contracts. Minaya did great last year. Minaya is a guy I would pursue, especially if you can get a Sasaki and you can get a Crochet. Minaya is a good, third option. That's a guy, I would pursue. Okay, so there are other options, Jack Flaherty, Evaldi, Walker Buehler, Nick Pivetta. Those are guys that the Mets are supposedly interested. Those are the latest reports. Somebody brought this up, and I don't know if he's going to retire or not, but Max Scherzer's a free agent. Would you sign Max Scherzer to a $5 million contract? I don't know. Was he part of a lot? 2023. There was a lot of issues in the clubhouse. That was kind of posed to me. So that would be a big question. Not part of the master plan. But there's a lot of talent on the market. The approach has to be aggressive. Now, Alonso, what are we gonna do with the Alonso situation? Now, here's the deal. If Alonso goes elsewhere, you know, the only guy who I would say would be an upgrade over him would probably be a Guerrero. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. All right, you miss out on Alonso. That's fine. Vladimir Guerrero wanted to play with Juan Soto. He wanted to play with Francisco Alvarez. That's a guy. If you want to make an aggressive move, if you trade for Vladimir Guerrero. But at this point, Alonso doesn't cost you prospects. He just costs you money. If you get Guerrero, he's going to cost you prospects, and you're going to have to sign him. So, those are some more things to think about, some food for thought. But at the end of the day, we have to be aggressive. We cannot, let this go out. We have to make moves right now. Other teams that missed out on Soto, specifically the Yankees, they want to throw money at Teoscar Hernandez. They want to throw money at Alonso. They want to throw money at whatever pitcher they want. I hear they're interested in Max Fried. All right, that's fine. I wasn't even interested in him. But Max Fried, if that was somebody the Mets targeted, you go after him. Whoever the Mets target, you pursue at all costs, and you go pedal to the metal. You take advantage of this Juan Soto momentum, and hopefully it'll translate. Roki Sasaki. This is what I've said about building your brand, your international brand, your brand worldwide. You need to win championships, but you need marquee players. Getting a guy like Juan Soto helps to build your brand worldwide. So these are my quick thoughts. It's 4:00 in the morning, so I mean, my thoughts are kind of like, I'm tired and I'm excited, and I don't know when I'm gonna go to bed. I got work tomorrow, so hopefully I will go to bed soon. But still, do me a favor. If you're watching this, I'm making this so I can communicate with you. So please subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are. How excited are you? Did it catch you out of nowhere? And also check out my live reaction. It's titled Mega Deal. See how that went. Okay. All right, folks. Thank you all so much. I'm so happy. The conclusion of this is a positive one. It really was. I was thinking and dreading, oh my God, are we gonna have to, look at guys like Santander, I had a Bregman. I just didn't have a good feeling. I did not have a good feeling about backup options. And I'm so glad that we are not the team that has to pursue at least those options. We need to still get another bat. But we have options. We have more options, and we have more leverage now. Now, team like the Yankees, they're gonna be desperate. They're gonna have to overpay for probably if they get a Bregman, they're gonna have to overpay. If they get a Teoscar Hernandez, people I hear in Yankee world, they want Teoscar Hernandez. If you're in that position, you're gonna be in a position where you need to overpay, and the teams, I mean the agents, they know it. The players, they know it. All right, folks. Thank you so much. I will speak to you soon. Like, subscribe, and have yourself a great night, day, whenever you're watching this.